Hello and good evening to you all, and an especially generous welcome to my former school teacher, Mr. Gorse. Hello and cheers to you. Um, you would have won your 2-1 bet if you had placed it on me wearing orange. I am in orange yet again. And good evening to everyone else, to Bambi Debonair, Ria, Louise, and Nicole, Busted, Candice, Sally A, Christina Logan, Paulie, and lots of others amongst you. So, hello and good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday evening. I sadly did not make it to the Magnet, to the performance by Miss.com. I'm sure everyone there is having a wonderful time and laughing with Miss.com, who is an absolutely brilliant performer. I got rather waylaid with other matters, but anyway, there have been lots of goings on in the world, but today in December 2016, I shared a picture of a lunatic who dressed up like an elf and stood outside Parliament and said Nigel Farage was sent by Christ to get Britain out of Europe and fulfill the Bible prophecy. He went outside the Supreme Court dressed as a leprechaun. His name was Neil Horan. Goodness knows where he is now, but I have to say I wouldn't even share the picture if I knew how, because frankly, you'd be appalled. But maybe I should send you the picture for a bit of amusement. He was completely nuts. It seems that I haven't got the picture to share, but there we go. So that was today in 2016. An individual dressed up as a leprechaun and said Nigel Farage, in fact, was sent by Christ to get Britain out of Europe and fulfill the Bible prophecy. So there we go. Anyway, we have all matter of issues to discuss this evening, if you're so willing. It's Farage as in garage. Yes, Nicole, you are correct. His father was a car dealer. He resembles a cheap used car dealer. Nothing wrong with being a car dealer. Car dealers are great people and they sell wonderful, wonderful contraptions in many cases. So there we go. So we have all sorts of you here, and I hope the milder temperatures have reached you. It's very pleasant down here in Broadstairs. Here I am in my winter sitting room, as some people have referred to it. I will be having guests for the weekend, and then there is a rather large party of over 50 of us having a lunch on Sunday. So it's all on the go here down in Broadstairs. So our first topic of the evening is a return to Robert Jenrick. Today, Ephraim Hardcastle of the Daily Mail decided to expose the truth about Robert Jenrick, who is now clarioning his passion for immigration curbs. He asked, could this be the same Tory politician who wrote in the art newspaper encouraging hundreds of foreign artists, dancers and writers to come to Britain using the little-known Home Office scheme, the Global Talent Visa? He did this some years back, and Ephraim Hardcastle continues. Already this year, 700 from 60 different countries, including China, the US, Nigeria, and Russia, have taken it up. We are encouraging the best and the brightest of Britain, declared Rob at the time before packing his ministerial sandwiches in a roadmap. So this Robert Jenrick has yet again proved himself to be a Tory hypocrite. This man is as much use as a chocolate teapot. He is a complete farce. He doesn't know the way of dealing with policy. He clearly has no consistency. This man is beyond bonkers. Stick him on the Bibby Stockholm and get it floated out to sea. Let's see if he likes being sent off on a global talent visa, because, as Anne Robinson would say, he's got no talent. He is the weakest link. He needs to be told goodbye. In the same article, the Ephraim Hardcastle refers to our lovely Anne Robinson, who, of course, is being referenced because of her alleged relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles. And we will be coming to do a little bit of a quiz with Anne later, using her book, that is. She isn't present in the room, sadly, though she is wonderful company when she is in the room. But she's not in the room on this one occasion. Making fun of the Duchess of Sussex marriage to Harry during a TV appearance, Anne mischievously mused, "I'm wondering whether Meghan will find another step up." She unflatteringly added, "Meghan is what I call last in the queue, first on the bus." I think that Anne Robinson got it quite right about the moronic Meg. Yes, Meghan is a queue jumper like the dreaded Holly Willoughby, and the dreaded Phillip Schofield. They are both appalling people. Stick them both on the Bibby Stockholm and send it out to sea. They are the weakest link, and they should all be told goodbye. So, moving along to today's big news is that Prince Harry has lost his bid to throw out the Mail on Sunday owner's libel defence. Now, this Prince Harry is driving many of you completely nuts. He is all over the place, and nobody can kind of work out which court case is which anymore because there are so many. He lost an attempt to strike out the Mail on Sunday's defence to his libel claim over its reporting of his dispute with the Home Office. He also has a fight with the Home Office itself. He is literally fighting everybody here, there, and everywhere. But, it's rather like his time serving in the military. He didn't actually achieve very much. All he did was get in the way of other people trying to do their jobs when he was there. He is a complete dead loss and a deadbeat and a nincompoop. The man is off the scale, bonkers. He is a drip, and he is drivel, and he's an embarrassment to our country, to the royal family, and he is pathetic, but, he would have been loved if he hadn't got himself involved with that woman. She has turned him into a mendacious menace like her. So this case will now have to go to trial, but the judge found that some of the words were expressions of opinion, but Harry then brought a claim to strike out the defence of honest opinion, arguing that an honest person could not have held the opinion on the basis of any fact which existed at the time of the article. The article has offended this individual, and he thinks that it's wise to go ahead with a libel action against Associated Newspapers. Now, I think that this is utterly ridiculous, and as Busted says, it is never ending. Bambi Debonair adds, "I have friends in the military. He was not well liked, and they thought he was annoying and lazy." Yes, he was exactly that. The people that I know who knew of him in the military said they had to carry him. He was always in the way. He was nothing but a nuisance. They have utter respect for his brother, Prince William. They do not dislike Prince William. I've never come across people who have any problem with him, but Harry the fool, Harry the narcissist is absolutely ridiculous. Melissa asks, anyone here from Belfast? I don't know. We have many viewers who come in from Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. So there we go. Harriet, yes, we know Mr. Gorse, my school teacher, is here in the chat. We welcome Mr. Gorse, and we welcome you, Harriet, and we look forward to you helping with our little quiz in a little while if you have the time and energy. And Prince Harry, yes, did once dress up in a Nazi uniform. That was another example, Christina, of his shocking lack of judgment. He is completely thick. But you'd have to be to marry Meghan Markle. Why on earth anyone would want to be Markled is quite beyond me. The woman is off the scale, deranged. Meghan Markle has damaged so many people's lives, and she is so selfish. It is utterly out of control. And I hope in the new year we hear less of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and we hope that Samantha Markle is able to conclude her case against her half-sister. We hope that enough is enough and the time moves on. Trevor says Meghan is beautiful to look at. I don't agree. I think she is reprehensible and rotten and wrong. She is not something that many of us would actually want to look at for more than 1 second. We would like her to just disappear. Enough is enough with her. So there we go. Anyway, this challenge will be reviewed at a later date, and we will see whether this trial, which will now occur, this libel trial, is actually successful or not. But Prince Harry has gone too far. So enough is enough with Prince Harry. So, meanwhile, Harry and Meghan's little mouthpiece, Scobie, has finally admitted he did name the people he called the royal racists, there being King Charles and, of course, the current Princess of Wales, the former Kate Middleton. He did it by accident in an early version, and he claims that Endgame was written at lightning speed. Now, this is utterly preposterous. This man is responsible for the words that he wrote. Nobody else can be blamed, and he only claims he worked with the publisher directly, with the one covering the US and UK. He claims he spent almost 2 months with independent British barristers and in-house legal counsel to ensure that every detail in the finished book was legally watertight. He said, unbeknownst to me at the time, early and uncleared text was provided to the Dutch publisher in order for them to start work on the translation, with the understanding that their translation would be updated to reflect the final version of the book I officially submitted. Well, this sounds like an utter bag of bilge, an utter load of Barry bullshit. This man is talking out of his behind, but we all knew that he did this all along. This man has previously sworn on his own life and his family's that this was not a publicity stunt to sell more books. Well, he hasn't done very well at selling books. The book was down to 215th yesterday. I don't know where it is now currently. I haven't looked in the last few hours, but it is an absolute Titanic of a book. It is sinking very quickly. People don't want this ridiculous man and his ridiculous book when he claims to be on what is called the Royal Rota. But he doesn't seem to be in contact with anyone. His sources are unnamed. He doesn't fact check very accurately, clearly. And then he doesn't even bother to check on the edited versions of his book or what is going in his book. This man is appalling. He is an absolute disaster area. And Rick Evers Royal responded with a quote. The Dutch publisher's response to Scobie was the explanation of Omid Scobie in his column about the Dutch editorial process of Eindridge is factually incorrect. Eindridge meaning endgame, and we do not recognize ourselves in his story. So this man is being called out on all fronts. He has proven himself in his plastic pajamas and his plastic face and his lying about his age to be nothing other than a meddling menace. It is time that Omid Scobie gave up. Omid Scobie has caused enough trouble, and I very much hope that somebody out there takes him to court. He has written a column for the Independent, whatever you want to call it, paper, which frankly nobody reads these days. He claims that we are unwilling to confront racism. And he said of the royal family's links to slavery, shooing away opportunities to meaningfully explore the royal institution's historic links to slavery and the impact its legacy has had on the country, or have serious conversations about the royal institution's failure to protect its only family member of colour, sends a clear message that the issues do not matter. He added, rather than properly address everything as part of a genuine attempt to modernise and better reflect the diverse country they serve, the royal family continue to sweep the issues and more under the rug. So he continues to dig deeper. Does this person not realize that when you're in a hole, it is better to stop digging? He should put a sock in it. It is time Scooby-Dooed off, scoodle-daddled, whatever you want to call it. Enough is enough. You have done so much damage with your ridiculous worldwide publicity tour for your supposedly carefully written book. You're just as bad as Harry and Meghan. You know, you are terrible and shockingly behaved. It is utterly ludicrous. So enough is enough with that. Now, I shall continue by moving along. He is now causing Meghan herself to becoming what Nick Eady, a brand and culture expert, has claimed to be tarnished. Susie Ashenden, thank you for your donation towards a Christmas tree. I'm still not enthused by the idea of Christmas trees, but thank you very much for your kind donation. My contribution to Christmas is to go to the odd Christmas party and to do a little bit to help the homeless. I think the homeless need more help than me needing a Christmas tree, but thank you and cheers to Susie Ashenden. Mr. Eady spoke earlier today and said, the book written by Omid Scobie is potentially a career incendiary device for Meghan, just as Harry's own goal of a book has proved for him. The new book by Scobie has unfortunately fueled a fire which many thought would die down. The issue for a Hollywood agent, which is the agency called WME, William Morris Endeavour, whose mega agent, Ari Emanuel, is representing her, is that they will find it hard to navigate the career of Meghan, fearing that more will come out over time, and that with court cases looming from her sister and potentially her father, she has tarnished her reputation and could potentially damage the reputation of her agency. Meghan in the right hands is a superpower, he claims. He must be a little bit bonkers. The world's most famous woman. I don't think she is the world's most famous woman, but there we go. And on paper, she could make millions for herself and for whomever represents her. But she's proving to be too hot to handle. And even though she hasn't said anything about the book, she's guilty by association. And this is damaging for her and others as she plots her next career move. Another PR person, Mark Borokowski, added that this relaunch is clearly not going to plan. So that is where we're up to with Scooby-Doo, Meghan, and Harry the Drip. They are really, really making things a hell of a lot worse. Please stop. And please take Prince Andrew and the ghastly grabber Sarah Ferguson with you. Enough is enough from all of you. There we go. I do think enough is enough with the lot of them. Melissa Neal adds, P. Diddy is a very bad man. I'm seeing bars for him in the future. I don't know much about P. Diddy, but I don't know what he's got to do with this particular conversation either. But he does seem to be in a lot of hot water, rather like Harry and Meghan the Drips. And what a revolting bunch they are, says Busted. There we go. Here we all are. So we're all of the same mind, says SCCO Mario, or whatever. I don't know quite what that name means, but there we go. So enough is enough with that. And my next story is about my next part of this story is Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan has said rather a lot about Meghan, and he's had lots of rows, but he has been on the right side of history, in my view, when he talks about Meghan. But when it comes to talking about Phillip Schofield, he has leapt to his defense. Now, Phillip Schofield, Pip, God riddance, in my view, he decided to say that, it's not fair the way he's been treated. And in a tweet, he wrote, he had a consensual affair with a co-worker who's made no complaint about it, and his wife's been supportive too, struggling to see why he has to be destroyed. Harriet asks, have I met Piers? No, I've never met Piers. I've been in the same room as him, but I did used to know his current wife, who is a lovely lady called Celia Walden, very talented and delightful, but I haven't seen her in years also. But I think Piers Morgan often does say good things, and he gets involved on the right side of stories. Though, interviewing Michael Barrymore, the revolting, disgraced piece of toe rag Barrymore, was another bad move on his part, and not asking him enough questions and grilling him hard enough about what happened to an innocent man, Stuart Lubbock, who was murdered and raped in his swimming pool at his house, by his swimming pool. I don't think anybody was in the swimming pool until after the death occurred, but there we go. Mr. Gorse asks, what are you drinking? Do you think it's a sweet sherry? No. I'm currently having a little bit of whiskey and water. That's all I'm having. Piers Morgan with Rolf Harris, Piers Morgan with Ghislaine Maxwell, Piers Morgan with Gary Glitter. Well, it's very easy to be photographed with famous people when you are an interviewer in social settings, and then subsequently those people, when they are proven to be wrong-uns, it's not your fault to be in a photograph. we've all been photographed with people we don't want to be photographed. I don't really think that is something I should be holding against him, but defending Phillip Schofield is a step too far. A number of Morgan's followers backed up his view on Twitter. One commented, 100% agree, a horrendous homophobic witch hunt, totally disproportionate. The co-worker was in his 20s, he wasn't underage. Despite intensive scrutiny for years, nothing has ever been found to suggest to the contrary. Well, as far as I'm aware, Phillip Schofield lied to his employers, as did the young person who also lied, and neither of them have participated in the investigation into this. And frankly, the person who is most to blame in the story is Mr. Frizzle, who is the chief of this morning operation, and he should be fired because he did nothing properly to resolve this matter. Kevin Ligo also the same thing. All these people, enough is enough. This ITV company is a total disgrace. And as for this morning, it is a program that, like Loose Women, should be closed down. But plenty of people have responded with their thoughts on Piers Morgan's tweet about this, and not many actually support him or the dreadful Phillip Schofield. Now, Mr. Schofield has gone too far. He does not need a television comeback, and they are suggesting that he could get a radio show. This is all utterly ridiculous. We need to see no more of Phillip Schofield, and we definitely don't need to have his suitable only for pouring down the plug hole plonk, the Phillip Schofield wine range brought back to Waitrose. Thank God they had the good sense to withdraw it, and thank God they do not sell Cliff Richard's equally revolting rubbish from Portugal, which Gordon Ramsay managed to trick him into calling something very offensive on a previous occasion on a program called The F Word. Now, there we go. So I do think for once Piers Morgan has got it wrong. But, Piers Morgan was interviewing recently Andrew Tate, the misogynist monster. And even Andrew Tate has turned on him over the COVID thing and made videos making jokes about Piers Morgan. Now, I do wish Piers Morgan a speedy recovery from the coronavirus, which is not a nice thing to have. So I haven't had it myself to my own knowledge, but those I know who have suffered. Whether you believe in it or not, it is not very pleasant to be ill. So we do hope Piers Morgan makes a swift recovery. So our final topic for this evening, we have rattled through the topics before we move on to other matters and our quiz, is that the Conservative Party shared an image of the weather presenter, the television presenter who stuck her finger up at somebody in the BBC studio, and they captioned it, Labour when you ask for their plans to tackle illegal migration. Now, this has divided social media, and it's divided the Conservative Party. So this account on X, formerly Twitter, I don't know why we call it X, because the handle is still Twitter. This Elon Musk can call it X, but I think Twitter is what most people would know it as still. This tweet has now been viewed 15.6 million times as of right now. It's attracted 8,500 comments, 6,500 retweets, and 9,300 likes. Now, the Conservative Party of Margaret Thatcher would not be, or John Major would not be using that image. That is a little bit ridiculous for a party of government to be sharing a picture of a woman sticking her finger up at someone. This seems a little bit childish to me and a little bit silly. Now, okay, we all like to make a joke. Nothing wrong with a joke. And, the fact that this woman got caught out sticking up the finger, the middle finger, to somebody else in the studio is funny, but it's nothing to do with the Conservative Party and its views on Labour. But Tory MP Alicia Kearns says of the advert, colleagues endorsing this sort of politics must take full responsibility for the green light they're giving to abusive behaviour and discourse. Others, such as Jonathan Gullis, who is a revolting piece of toe rag, who should definitely be on the Bibby Stockholm, the MP for Stoke-on-Trent North, commented, I approve this message. Tobias Elwood, another backbench MP, said please delete this post. Another MP who did not wish to be named, according to The Guardian, said, I'm lost for words. This is gutter politics. Another added, colleagues are furious. So I don't know. What do you think of this tweet? Do you think it was appropriate? Do you think it was acceptable? Or do you think it was wrong? Let's hear your thoughts on that. I think you seem to be busy talking about deep fried Mars bars and asking me, have I met Gordon Ramsay? I have met Gordon Ramsay. He was perfectly polite to me. I think, like many of these people, the TV act is rather different to the reality. So there we are. Anyway, no, you don't seem to have strong views on it, other than Harry Giles, who says it was unacceptable. There we go. Will's adds, this chat is nearly everything to do with anything but the topics. There we go. Bambi Debonair does not approve of the tweet, so the only responses we're getting is that you don't approve of it. Yes, Busted also agrees. Joanna asks, have I met Jeremy Clarkson? No, I haven't met Jeremy Clarkson, but I think Jeremy Clarkson is a wonderful entertainer and provides great joy for our nation. Very much like Jeremy Clarkson, I think he's great. Harriet says Gordon Ramsay was always lovely to her. Nicole says it wasn't acceptable to do the tweet. Have I met Denise Welsh, asks Lauren. Yes, I have, and her husband, who's called Lincoln Townley, a very talented artist. I am in touch with him on occasions. I don't know her very well, but I do think that I do think that he's a very, very talented artist. I came across him at the Saatchi Gallery at a party, and I thought that he was excellent. Lovely gentleman. There we go. Yes, Harry Giles says it's all family here. We talk about different things. Christina thinks the tweet was acceptable, so we have a voice of dissent amongst the number. There we go. But as we say, this poll was not scientific of mine here, but it comes from your viewing audience. So that is that with the Conservatives. And, I do think that the Conservative Party of Rishi Sunak should be focusing on trying to put right the mess that it had put Britain into, rather than sending out tweets with a picture of a BBC presenter giving the middle finger. So enough is enough with that. I do think it is time to move along. Which artists do you love, Matthew? Asks Susie Ashenden. Lots of artists, the Scottish colourists, the great William Turner, I like Singer Sargent, lots of different artists, modern artists, old artists, the whole collection, Munnings, all sorts of different styles of painting. The pictures on the wall are just behind me are just local pictures because that's what was here when I moved into this house, and they're still there. So they're not my pictures, and they're nothing to do with me. So there we go. Anyway, I shall. Constable is what Susie likes. Well, we all love a bit of Constable, yes. So, right. Well, this is time for your quiz. So, Harriet loves Singer Sargent also. Beryl Cook. I'm not a great fan of Beryl Cook, to be honest. I've seen quite a few of Beryl Cook's works, and they're not really for me. But each to their own, and somebody has to love Beryl Cook. Right. So I'm just looking at this different book, and we will begin with this different book, which of course is an Anne Robinson book, but it's not the one that we previously used. So there we go. Right. Question number 1. In astrology, which constellation represents the scales of justice? Any answers? Where is Finn tonight? He's not here. He did call by earlier. The winner with Libra is Lauren. Lauren gets the point. A point goes to Lauren. So well done to Lauren. Right. Which metal has often been called quicksilver because of its color and the way it flows? The winner with Mercury is Nicole. Well done to Scottish Nicole. She gets the point. Question number 3. What sort of creature are a cardinal and a cassowary? Paulie gets the point with a bird. Well done to Paulie. Well done to Paulie. Question number 4. An antitoxin is used to fight the harmful effects of what on the human body? Pipfield wins with poison, and Montecute meanwhile asks, can people see me? I can't see your face, but I can see that you are appearing on our chat stream. So you are present. Yes, present and correct. Right. Question number 5. In which continent might you see creatures called an aardwolf, an aardvark, and an aasvogel? Bambi Debonair gets the point with Africa. Well done to Bambi Debonair. You are doing very well. Question 6. Which language did the people of ancient Rome speak? Bambi Debonair gets yet another point with Latin. Bambi Debonair is very quick. Mr. Gorse, Paulie, lots of others amongst you also got the correct answer, but it's always the fastest finger first. So well done to the quick answer. Next one. In science, decibels are a measure of what? Paulie wins with sound. Well done to Paulie. Right. Question 8. In humans, what passes through the aorta? Paulie wins with blood. Well done to Paulie yet again. Which Victorian author wrote Far from the Madding Crowd and Tess of the D'Urbervilles? Mr. Gorse wins with Thomas Hardy. Well done to Mr. Gorse. First, a point for Thomas Hardy. Yes. It was not Dickens, Susie Ashenden, and Lauren, it certainly was not Cilla Black. Cilla Black and J.K. Rowling, it certainly wasn't Trevor, no. But well done to Mr. Gorse, you get the point. Right, the next one. Mr. Gorse says, on my screen, I've won them all. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Gorse, you cannot be the winner unless you are the first to answer correctly. So you have won 1 point out of 9. You're 1/9 of the way to winning. Mr. Gorse loves Harriet. Well, thank you to Mr. Gorse for showing his love for Harriet. Question 10. When a leveret grows up, what does it become? A leveret. Nicole says Mr. Gorse will get lines or detention if you start. Oh dear. Well, Bambi Debonair wins with hair. Hair is the answer. Mr. Gorse typed hate, which is not what it was, but I understand that R is next to T on your keyboard, but that was a slip of the tongue. We don't hate the hair, so there we go. The next question is, at room temperature, is chlorine a solid, a liquid, or a gas? What is chlorine at room temperature? The answer goes to Anna Perkins. It is gas. Well done to Anna Perkins. Anna Perkins gets the point. Which planet, named after a Roman god, is the largest in our solar system? It is not Mars, Paulie. It is not Saturn, Doc Martens. Lily gets the point with Jupiter just pipping Mr. Gorse to the post. Mr. Gorse, you nearly got it, but you were a mile away. But Lily is the winner, chicken dinner on that one. So, in science, how many straight edges are there on a triangular prism? 3, 6, or 9? It is not 6 and it is not 3, but Doc Martens gets it with 9. And those answering 5, well, you didn't listen. And those answering 8 also. It was 3, 6, or 9, and the answer is 9. So well done to the correct answer. Which city, capital Zimbabwe, used to be called Salisbury? It was not Bulawayo. No. It wasn't Peckham. It wasn't Rhodesia. Lauren is close to the point, but hasn't spelt it correctly. But Sharon Osvenom wins with Harare. Well done to Sharon Osvenom. The answer was not Anthea Swinger. No. She's busy swinging into action in other cities around the world and telling people how to use Cadbury's chocolates at weddings. There we go. Who is the patron saint of Scotland? It's also a location where there is a university. The winner is Paulie with Andrew. There we go. Paulie gets the point. St. Andrews is the place, and St. Andrew is the patron saint of Scotland. What is the national sport of Canada? Oh, no, it was not Paul Daniels. The broadcast bar, we don't need any more Paul Daniels, and we don't need any more Debbie McGee. The winner with ice hockey is Bambi Debonair. Well done to Bambi Debonair. Paulie is now in the lead, according to Harriet. Well done to Paulie thus far, but Mr. Gorse is chasing you on your coattails, with 1 point. He's managed to get in there. What does YMCA stand for? Young Men's Christian Association. Yes, Sally A gets the point. Well done to Sally A. There we go. Right. Which author wrote Treasure Island? It was not Kipling. Ria Shakespeare gets it with Stevenson. They spelt it incorrectly. I will allow you the point. It was, of course, Robert Louis Stevenson. But yes, we will allow you that point. Well done to you. In which decade was the style of dancing known as the Charleston most fashionable? Paulie gets the point with 1920s. Well done to Paulie. You have the point. And finally, the very last question. How many sides does a hexagon have? How many sides does a hexagon have? It is not 5. It's not 12. It's not 8. The first person to come in is Neil Mitchell with 6. That is the correct answer. Well done to Neil Mitchell. Do we have a winner? Please let me know. Harriet, thank you. Please let me know. Debbie McGee for the evening. We need to know if we have a winning score on the door. Do we have a winner? Do we have somebody out there who wins this remarkable quiz? Paulie has won the quiz. Well done to Paulie. That was fantastic. So I don't know if anyone else has any more questions for me. If we have any questions about anything else, please ask now or forever hold your peace. Let's be straightforward. But we have enjoyed this little quiz, I hope, and there will be more tomorrow when I will have guests joining me, hopefully, if they turn up. They are a little unreliable, but we will see. We do like having a guest join us, and on Sunday, I don't know whether I will even make it because I am going to a rather large lunch party that could go on and on and on and on and on and on, an Ariston, as they supposedly say. But right, how was my day? I have just had a quiet day by myself today. Nothing exciting, but I've been doing lots of tasks. But there we go. Am I celebrating Christmas or New Year at home or away? I don't really think much about Christmas ahead of Christmas. I just do whatever I wish. I'm not really a big Christmas person, but I wish you all happiness galore wherever you may be, and all the best to you and your families and friends and whoever else you wish to spend your time with. What's my favorite cheese? I don't really have a favorite. It depends on the occasion. I like lots of different types of cheese, lots of blue cheese, lots of cheddar, gorgonzola, Stilton, more exotic cheeses made with chili and all sorts of things. Lots of things like that. Wonderful. What do I think of Anne Ron? Asks Betty Clark. I don't know who Anne Ron is, so I can't possibly answer that. Doc Martens is not keen on Christmas herself. Well, I'm with you there, but we all have to do whatever we have to do. Right. What do I think of Anne Robinson's new partner, alleged partner? I wish them happiness galore if the story is true. So I hope that Annie has a wonderful, happy, lovely time, and whatever she's doing, she will have a wonderful time because she's a positive, delightful person. Right, there we go. Will I try the very new and very smelly cheese with the rude but appropriate name? I don't know what that is, but there we go. I can't really talk about it because I've no knowledge of what it is. How is Fergie? Well, she's doing the rounds of the studios being a complete pest because, of course, she's grifting to get more money. She is appalling. Right. Well, Mr. Gorse has joined in. I don't know. Mr. Gorse, well, I don't know. He seemed to be perfectly polite, so I'm not sure why he's disappeared, but there we go. Right. What did I do before the Steeple Times? I was involved in the alcohol business for a number of years, and I went to the London School of Economics. So lots of different things, but there we go. Right. A friend tonight says Socio Mario. A friend said Christmas makes the winter more bearable, sorry. Yes, well, we all like a bit of cheer. And Busted says, so does alcohol. Yes, so I say cheers to that. And I'm coming to the end of my glass, and I'm coming to the end of this program shortly, but there we go. So thank you very much to you all for participating. Montecute says Harriet is great at the job. Yes, Harriet has been a dedicated person. Right. Well, we mustn't ban everybody because there'll be nobody left. But Christina says, this is a fabulous channel. That is very kind of you to say, Christina. Bambi says, have a lovely rest of the evening. And thank you. I say, I hope you all have a wonderful evening yourselves. There we go. I do think that we all have had a lovely time and it was utterly delightful. And as one person, my friend James, wrote to me today, who helped me do the little video about Miss Marple and all the rest of it, this is a cheerful place, and it's a place where we can talk about good things and bad things and crazy people and wacky people and wonderful people. And that is the joy of it. So we want to keep it that way. We can't ban everybody. We don't want to ban everybody because then there would be nobody to talk to. But you are all very welcome here. As long as you enjoy beer and a cheer and wine and is all fine and gin that flows freely, then you're in the right place. So thank you very much to you all. Have a wonderful evening. Good night. Sleep tight. Good gardening. And as the late, great Jill Dando once said, don't have nightmares. Take care and goodbye. And I do apologize if this chat keeps going. I turn it off and I turn off my camera. I cannot stop this chat. So night to you all, and please take care. Thank you. Good night.